So there's going to be a few people that won't be joining us today, Ashley and Kate. Ashley is driving out in the middle of nowhere and has a shitty signal. Kate is working on a thesis and is using all of her brain power for that. Kohosh is out of office today and unavailable. So there will be some fillers there. Sarah's going to try to hop on, but she is busy working, so unfortunately, she might not be blessing us with her presence. Hate her for that, absolutely. Send her all of the hate mail that you want. And yeah, I think that's it. But we have a lot to, well, we have plenty to talk about today. We have some really cool stuff coming up that we want to share with everybody. And then we will also be having Ash from Sapphics in Pain joining us as well. And I'm sorry, they're going to talk about their Halo project and things that they are working on, it sounds really, really cool. I know that they had a KTY space last weekend, and KTY answered some pretty deep and well thought questions, so that was pretty cool. So, yeah. And then we also have the OCS Conclave not this weekend, June 3rd, because I don't know, I can't tell time, nor can I read a calendar. So Adrian will be talking about that later on, so definitely stick around. But for now, it seems like just about everybody is here or will be here in the next few minutes. So we can go ahead and start. And because Ashley sucks and decided to drive out in the farmlands, let's see. Coco, do you have the document up?
I do indeed, yes.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and read Outreach?
Oh, is that Ash not here?
No, Ashley is driving out in the middle of the farmlands, so she said she had crappy signal.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, I've just woken up, so welcome to my woken up voice. Okay, and just the whole section, is that all of the new stuff?
Yeah, I believe so. I think some of it might be slightly outdated, but that's okay.
Alright, you know what, let's go with it. Okay, so the Cat's Cradle fan portion of the Warrior Nun website is live, as you've probably seen, because that is fairly old news, I think, but there are like lots of different, it's like updated every now and then. Is that weekly? I'm not entirely sure when that is actually. I will probably be murdered for that. But you can submit your Warrior Nun fan art, video edits, fan fiction, that kind of cool stuff. Please do that. It's really nice to have your stuff on the website. I think one of my videos was all up recently, and that's quite exciting. So if you'd like to do that, then you just need to submit the thing, and I'm sure I will go find that tweet with the thing to submit soon, and I'll pin that to the Jumbotron. They would love more submissions, so please, you can use the form as many times as you want to submit work as well, so don't worry about that. Also, Halo projects, please. That's a really nice project that the Sapphics in Pain are working on, and Ash is here, or will be. I don't, talk about that too much. And thank you to everyone for their submissions on the fan art book project. I know there's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes on that at the moment. I don't have all of the latest information there, but I do know that that's well in the works and is being done at the moment. Okay, there should be a post going out in the next 2-ish weeks for options to buy that, so that's cool. I feel like I have run out of my usefulness there because I'm not entirely sure what else I meant to say. Kelsey.
So I didn't know that you were just waking up there, Coco, but it just you speak with such elegance that I will never be able to hold within my soul. Uh, and so when you speak, I'm like, oh, you know what? This is beautiful. When I speak, it sounds like my trachea got stuck in a blender. So I'd prefer you over me.
Right, okay, well, apologies to anyone who may have noticed I do not know what I'm talking about because that is not my section.
We're doing our best, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah, so let's see, and then so that was Ashley's, and then for communications slash marketing, which is typically Kohash. Again, she could not join us today. Um, let's see.
A couple of quick updates there on the marketing side of things. They have shipped out the May 9th press release, and the Barcelona Spanish release went out, I believe, on the same day. So the team was trying to get those press releases out the door. Also, on the marketing front, there's been a bunch of new internet polls, and it's important for people to participate in them, mainly because at this point in the campaign, 6 months out, the fact that any part of the show or the campaign is still winning polls, or even placing strong in polls, is pretty stand out. It's important that we keep participating in those polls because it essentially just adds more pressure to Netflix and other streaming companies that canceling the show was a really bad idea if the fandom is still winning things 6 months later. And then finally, on the marketing side, be sure to check out the blog on warriornun.com. There's a new post up yesterday, which is an interview with the Sheets marketing team and why they decided to participate in the campaign. So go check that out.
And Chris, I mean, while you're already here, do you want to just go over data?
Sure, we can roll right into data. So, for data, we have begun publishing the Warrior Nun Weekly Top 40. It's not a playlist yet, but it is the top 40 most active people for the week. This is on the Substack newsletter. So if you're not subscribed, please make sure that you are subscribed to the newsletter. It is savewarriornun.substack.com. If you are trying to make it into the weekly top 40, the least active participants in the top 40 are cranking about 1,400 tweets or retweets per week. So quite a lot of effort there. Congratulations to the folks who do that every single week. We'll be making significant revisions to the numbers around article coverage in the next week or two, as we have built some brand new software to analyze the full text of articles about the show and the campaign. When doing an audit recently, we noticed that the monitoring service was only pulling a snippet of an article and not the entire article. And so there have been a decent number of articles that got missed because they didn't mention Warrior Nun in the title, but they were still substantially about that. So if you are keeping track of coverage about the campaign and about the show, those numbers are going to change and probably go up in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned to the various public spreadsheets that are available about that. This past week, we also had an important Twitter thread about why there are such different numbers in tweet counts. As of today, according to our record keeping, there are 1,420,447 tweets remaining until the 15 million update. We are approximately 13.58 million tweets. But there is a link that should be going up on the display thing here to explain the differences in the tweet counts while you're hearing differences from different people. But the current number is about 1.4 million left to go. In terms of boosting numbers, especially the demand numbers that we monitor with Parrot Analytics, and then those numbers go on to other streaming companies that are trying to make business decisions about the show. There are 4 categories of activities you can do to help boost those numbers. The first, social media participation, pretty easy, particularly on Instagram and Twitter. The marketing team is trying to push, so is the social media team, trying to push more activity on Instagram. So if you've not done so already, you can do so. And there is a link for the Nun Bank of approved images so that you don't have to figure out what to share. You can just post up approved content. But that's social media participation. Second is posting videos, particularly on YouTube, as well as interacting with videos on YouTube. If you have made video edits, crack edits, etc., and you've only put them on regular social media like Twitter or TikTok or Instagram, consider putting them on YouTube as well. If you need help or you don't want to have to maintain a YouTube channel, message any of the video editing team folks, and if appropriate, they can put it on one of the many YouTube channels that we maintain. The third thing you can do is activity on reference sites. This means leaving ratings and reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, editing and adding information on IMDb, searching and visiting the Wikipedia page for Warrior Nun, etc. So reference sites, the various demand services do keep track of how active those pages are as a proxy for understanding, this show's still got some interest. And the fourth is taking advantage of free streaming services like Popcorn Time to watch the show. So if you have access to platforms like that, you can do so. Try to do as many of these activities each week as you have time for, understanding that time is at a bit of a premium right now. Some quick stats updates for folks to hear where things are right now. There are 13.58 million tweets on the main hashtag as of today. There's been nearly 20,000 unique visitors to warriornun.com, the website, which is fantastic for a site that didn't even exist a few months ago. There have been nearly 60,000 unique active contributors on Twitter. So that is the campaign. That is a large number of highly engaged people. And nearly 1,600 subscribers to the Daily Substack newsletter. Again, with that one, please refer it to your friends, family, colleagues, anyone who will hold still long enough, get them to, to sign up for it. And finally, just a quick teaser. Pay attention to warriornun.com and the various Twitter feeds. We're going to have some very cool data about season 1 of Warrior Nun coming out in the next week or so. Back to you in the studio, Kelsey.
Oh God. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, definitely keep your eyes out. Chris and Laura both have some really cool shit coming out. And Robin too. So definitely check it out. I'm gonna pass the mic over to the video editing team, Leah and Coco.
Hello. All right. So I'm slightly more awake now. You'll be very pleased to hear. But my voice does still sound like I've just woken up. So from me, and then I'll pass to Leah. Julia could not be with us today. However, she has posted a snippet of a Warrior Nun edit recently that was very cool. So I'm just going to pin that to the Humbotron real quick. Bam, there we go. Nice. Okay, and then also news from us is that I put out a edit yesterday, which the team kindly played the audio from with no context at the beginning. So if you were wondering what that was, that's what that is. So for this one, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So the music in the background is actually music that I wrote specifically with doing an edit in mind, and then I did the edit with the music. That's how that works. That was a very bad explanation, but you get the idea. So that's there. That's posted yesterday. Quite proud of it. It was fun to do and a different experience. So yay! If you'd like to go watch it, then I've pinned it. No pressure to do so, but music, woo! And then I can pass over to Leah, who is very possibly actually in a studio. So,
Leah? I'm not in my studio right now.
Ah.
And I would say there is absolute pressure to watch Coco's videos, so y'all better go watch it because it's absolutely amazing. And Coco is just an extremely talented person, and Coco and Changeline for season 3. That's all I'm gonna say.
Coco for season 3. Coco for season 3.
It's a campaign. It's a separate campaign. It's happening alongside this one. So everyone hashtag Coco for season 3. Okay, so the last space, I brought up the idea of the global Warrior Nun fandom documentary. That's still happening. I'm doing kind of the pre-production side of that, which includes creating a plan for people to add their submissions, making it as efficient and easy as possible for people to do that. There will be multiple ways or mediums in which you can be a part of the Warrior Nun Fandom Global documentary. The main ways being like a video interview. You can do an audio interview. You can do written answers. You can do. There's plenty of the photos going around of the Save Warrior Nun posters that Lucy has made out in the wild. I've seen a bunch of those floating around. There was the Warrior Nun run that was took place last week or the week before. Time, it means nothing to me anymore. And I know that there was a lot of photo and a lot of content taken around that time as well. So submitting that if you're happy to do so. There's also little clips that I've seen floating around of like little video games that people have made that are inspired by the show. So possibly submitting those videos. Obviously, there's a crap ton of fan art floating around as well. And there's also a lot of images of people with tattoos. So obviously, if people feel comfortable sharing that. So there's a bunch of ways people can be a part of it. It's not just going to be normal video interviews. So we want to make it as broad and as diverse as possible for people to be a part of it. For the questions, when it comes to, say, the interviews, for like the written audio or video interviews, we will provide a list of questions for you to answer, just to give you an idea, if you wish to do a video or audio interview. If you do wish to submit a video interview, there will be an instruction video that I'm going to make that will help guide you to get the best results in terms of like composition and framing and audio and all that fun stuff. So if you're unsure and want to do a video submission, I'll do that little instruction video just to help you guys out. And any other instructions will also be part of the submission process. That's where somebody just scrolled the document and it's jumped. Oh God, there we are. So don't worry, there will be a document to instruct people and help people when it comes to that stuff. That's where all the pre-production needs to be done, so that can be as streamlined and as helpful as possible for people. It's super important to note that if you are going to submit something, you will be required to sign what's called a release form when adding your submissions. This is a standard practice for something like this, and we're happy to answer any questions or concerns you might have before signing it. So please feel free to DM myself, Julia, Coco, or anyone of the speakers that are here today. Note, if you haven't signed the release form, we won't use your submission. We just, for legal reasons, we cannot. So we have to make sure that people sign a submission form first before your submission can be part of the video. How many times did I say submission in that whole thing? I think everyone should.
I don't know, but I'm going to start taking shots for it.
Write it down. I think that's pretty much everything. I'm hoping to have the whole process ready and out as soon as possible. Unfortunately, my in real life work has been quite busy, so trying to get that all done for everyone. So yeah, before I go, because Laura can't be here, and I just want her to hear when she listens back, Ellie, get on the pallet, Ellie. Nobody's going to understand that, but here you go. So back to you in the studio, Kelsey.
Oh, God.
You love it.
I do. And to feed everyone's need, also a reminder that we do these spaces to be transparent. Transparency is key for us and for everybody else. We try to be as transparent as possible with everyone. And if we fail at that, then you can DM me and yell at me there, and I'll probably like it. So hit me up whenever. And from there, I think I'm just gonna scroll for a hot minute. So we did data already. So is anyone from the free? Oh, Vic. There you go. It is your turn, love.
Hello, thank you. So couple of updates. Since the last space, we made total of 725,000 safe Warrior Nun tweets, of which 403,000 were phrases, so over 50%, which is really nice. The average amount of tweets with phrases increased on a percentage basis. The participation has reached January-February levels, which means that more and more people are actually participating in the phrases, and it's over 50% of the day. And if we're talking about the amount of phrases, so Proud of Our Shows was on the 9th place in terms of number of tweets among phrases, since the new phrases team was formed. And above that phrase are phrases targeting platforms and Rise Bisexual Warrior, which was one of the most successful phrases. So if you want to submit any kind of phrases, I have no idea how many times I'm going to say phrases, but if you want to submit something or you have some worries about certain quotes, you can reach out to Sticks, myself, or Yereczko. And please remember that you can DM any of us. We are always in contact with each other, so no need to bombard one person. If one person is not replying, you can always reach out to one of us. I am going to add a couple of tweets to Jumbotron, just in case. Also, one more thing, I will add our Google Doc form so that you can actually submit your potential phrases or suggestions. And please remember that you can participate in this or that tweets. So you can retweet answers, you can actually answer, or you can quote retweet. And if you're doing, let's say, spam retweeting or spam quote retweeting, please remember to sort of switch between those so that you don't get a restraint from tweeting, which is like for about 1 or 2 hours. Or if you're not afraid of losing your account, you can use your own account, or you can create a spam account. So yeah, that would be it from us, and back to you in the studio, Kelsey.
Thanks, Vic. And now I am going to pass the mic on to Ash, and so they can discuss the Halo project. Ash, if you're ready. If you're not, it's okay.
No, I'm good. I popped in a little late, but I've been trying to catch up. Hey guys. Hey everybody. I wanted to make an announcement about the Halo project really quick. I know that with the success of our last space with KTY, it was really exciting. But I may have overbooked myself a little bit. And you know, in the spirit of being transparent, I decided last night that I think I'm going to hold off on May submissions. The prompt for May was the Warrior Nun, and I was really excited about it, and I still am. I have a lot of big plans for it, but I realized that I wouldn't have enough time between organizing the space with KTY and then all the things that I have planned for Pride Month. I wouldn't have time to do all the things that I wanted to do for May. So May is going to be an off month. You're more than welcome to send in any submissions that you may have written already, and I will hold on to them until we bring it back. But for Pride Month, we do have a couple of exciting things planned. The first big prompt, this one is going to be a bit of a tight turnover. Usually I give each submission about a month so that people have plenty of time, but because I would like to do a space reading everybody's submissions while Pride Month is still going on, I am going to have a bit of a tight turnover. So this prompt is only going to be for about 2.5 weeks. And the prompt is going to be, who are you? What do you want the world to know about your queer experience? I have been thinking a lot about all the unfortunate things that are happening in the world right now. And I thought this would be a really great time for the fandom to speak about our identities, our experiences. What would you like the world to know if you were gone tomorrow? or, if the world ended tomorrow, what would you want people to know about your queer journey? And I do invite a lot of our straight allies to maybe sit down and listen to these submissions. We want to be as inclusive as possible, but I do believe that Pride Month is specifically to celebrate, those queer identities that may not have a lot of safe spaces in the world right now. So yeah, I am really excited about this prompt. I'm hoping that maybe it'll bring out those emotional awareness that's really important right now. So yeah, back to you, Kelsey.
Thanks, Ash. Yeah, I actually talked to them yesterday, and Ash has some sick plans coming up. So, I mean, kudos. I could not, I don't think I hold the brain power that Ash does. Just phenomenal. And from there, we will kick it over to Adrian with the OCS newsletter, if Adrian is ready, or Pietra.
Okay, I'm here. Sorry. I was posting interview. Coco, you want to start?
Sure. Okay, so the interview that we had with Tangeline Bolton has just gone up. Very excited. I'm terrified to watch myself back because I know I was panicking the entire time. But that was a whole lot of fun. I'm absolutely honoured that I got to speak and be in that Zoom call. So thank you very much to Adrian and anyone else who had anything to do with organising that. Means a lot. I hope that the questions that we managed to ask in that interview will be interesting to everyone else as well. There's a wide range of questions in there. There's some more basic questions. If anyone's worried that they won't have a clue what on earth is going on, don't worry. There's a broad range of questions in there. There's also some more specific music question ones about composing and about using Logic and types of keyboards and all that kind of thing. So if you're interested, or even if you're not interested, please go watch it because it was fun. And Tangeline is absolutely lovely. It was the best day of my life. So if you feel like watching me panic for however long that video is, then please enjoy Coco purely panicking the entire time and trying to hold it together. So yeah, I'm just going to pin that to the Jumbotron right now. But yeah, thank you very much, Adrian, for the opportunity to be involved in that.
It really was fun. I didn't understand half the stuff they were talking about at times, but that's okay because I got to ask those questions that some other people that aren't musically inclined would like to know. And that's just part one. We actually chatted for quite a bit of time. But we actually just released director of episode 5 and 6, his interview this past Tuesday. And that was part 2. Part 1 came out last week in Spanish with English subtitles. He also sent us, which I was shocked about, a couple of pictures of the storyboard that he did for those episodes. So you're getting double interviews today. You'll get another interview next week, and then we move on to the conclave. But first, several blog posts that we've done that are on, and then upcoming interviews that will be released in June. We have in-depth interviews with Ames and Kai from the stunt team that we actually broke music scenes down with Ames, and not me, but Coco. And then with Kai, we actually did a in-depth study of some of the scenes that he did the fighting with. And then the Olivia interview has been rescheduled, which is great news. So it will be coming to you after the conclave. And we have a link tree set up in case you need easy access to all links for OCS Nun Bank, phrases. And then I'm going to turn it over to Hillary to talk about the OCS conclave.
Amazing. Thank you. So June 3rd, 1 p.m. UTC to 1 a.m. UTC, so a full 12 hours. We have a Warrior Nun online meetup convention type thing. We have a lot of special guests. Here, I can pull up our tentative schedule on the Jumbotron. So there will always be something happening. We have special guests in our main room. We have events hosted by fans that have been getting submitted. We are still accepting submissions. So if you have any events that you would like to host or give back to the fandom, please apply. Our links are still under our account profile. And we're still looking for volunteers as well, because along with the events, we will have rooms where you can just enter and talk in any language that we might have a moderator for, and just get to meet all of the fans from around the world. And it's really a event hosted by fans for fans. So what all of us put into it, we get back. And that's basically about all I have right now. Please check back on the OCS Conclave account for any updates. If we have enough interest, we might have to start sending RSVP links and things. Yes. And then also we had somebody who couldn't come or host an event submit a few ideas. So if anyone might want to have a cooking or baking event or a yoga class or video editing tutorials, which we already have one on the schedule, please feel free to submit one to our event application. That will be open probably until a few days before the event happens. And then Adrian and I can answer any questions anyone might have as well.
I just wanted to go over some of the logistics real quick that might help with some of the questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, it's almost a conference that we're having. And there's going to be a main room that's going to have our guest being interviewed. Cameras, audio are not on for the people. The breakout rooms are smaller rooms that are fan generated. And go ahead, sorry.
As well, for the way Zoom works, we have a capacity limit. And if that happens to be reached or you cannot make it to the event, all of the special guest interviews will be recorded and posted after the event.
We still have room for events. I know 2 people have come to me saying, hey, they want to do this. They don't understand Zoom. We're going to send out a little instruction sheet. Basically, you just have to download Zoom and create a free account if you're hosting. And then you get the link.
So for anyone unfamiliar with Zoom, we will still have volunteer moderators who are familiar with Zoom helping you out. They won't help run your event per se, but they will be there to help with any Zoom logistics. So if you would like to host an event, but you don't feel comfortable using Zoom, we just have to make sure that you are able to log on and use any tools that you might need to use. So if you need to use screen sharing or have your camera on, things like that. But those can be very simply taught in a few minutes.
We need people to sign up for the music jam session. I mean, we have so many musicians in this fandom. Often 2 different times. The sign-up sheet's on the website.
And I might add, I'm going to be facilitating the second jam session, which is a bit later for European people, but please come join. I'd love to hear everyone.
That jam session also follows directly after Ames' interview workshop. So Ames will be doing a little music writing workshop and then attending possibly the music jam right after.
Some of these events will overlap some of the interviews. We're going to have open chat rooms in different languages, just for you to pop in, to have a space to go to. And what else? I guess we'll open it up for questions. Do any of the speakers have any questions right this moment?
No questions, but if you folks have done any Twitter spaces, this is for anyone within the fandom, if you've done any Twitter spaces that are appropriate for the general public, like these update spaces and stuff, and you would like to have them posted to a YouTube account, let us know. You can DM me and we can convert them into videos, video animations that you can then post to YouTube. That way, for folks who don't use Twitter or who want to use the YouTube listening engine, it's a little bit easier. So we try to do that with each of the spaces that we run. Well, obviously, we're not going to do that to other people's spaces without their permission. But if you have run spaces in the past, they're still available. The recordings are still available. Let us know. We can convert them to videos. Per the data section, that does help with things like demand, because the more videos with the show name and the hashtag, the better.
No one likes to follow you, Chris. You just sound so good.
And I just wanted to say, like, if anyone isn't really understanding what the conclave is, just kind of imagine it being like a convention, right? So if you go to like an anime convention or like a music convention, as different rooms that are carrying different things, there might be a room that has like an interview in it, and the other room has like some sort of video or some sort of, fan type thing going on. That's more or less what the conclave is. It's just virtual. So it's kind of a Warrior Nun conference going on. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Most of the fun, none of the hotel chicken.
Yes.
And none of the cost. This is completely free.
Yes. Also, I just want to say hi, Hillary.
Hi.
Been a long time.
I know.
Miss
I kind of
you.
fell off the face of the earth, but I'm back and planning something.
Sweet. I know. When I heard it was you, I was like, wait, the Hillary I met in New York?
Yes.
And I was like, oh, yes. I love that person. But yeah, if anyone has any questions about the OCS Conclave Conference, you can either type it down below or hit up Adrian, hit up Hillary, ask your questions. It sounds like it's going to be really cool. I will be out of town that weekend, but I am going to try and sneak and try to be there as much as I can. But I know a lot of people are pretty pumped about it. So, but yeah, if you have any questions, just let them know. Feel free.
If you have any questions afterwards as well, our email and our Twitter DMs are open and monitored quite frequently.